Yeah, I'm talking about it. What? I'm not allowed to have fun with the rest of you? Aiden can't get in here and play around with everyone else on the content? Huh? Is that how it is? I would say fine, but I'm here doing it anyway, so you kind of see how this ends. That big crash at the Nürburgring. That's the big Nürburgring story going on right now that everyone's been talking about, and I am now talking about it as well. For those who haven't seen it, I'll do a quick cliff notes, and then as we continue to talk, I've got videos that I'll play here as well. I will preface off the bat with me saying that I will be playing videos. Everyone did come away with no serious injuries, so everyone is alive, everyone is okay, at worst minor injuries, so that's the only reason why I'm playing this stuff, because I would not ever cover this if people were seriously injured or dead. But pretty much what happens here, there's a 911 GT3 RS driving around on the Nürburgring, and he goes for a pass on a BMW M2, and they have a big come together, and it's just one of the most insane crashes I've ever seen with two road cars on this course. So as you can see, the damage is absolutely insane. There's active fires. The cars are completely in pieces. The BMW is destroyed. The Porsche is damn near sawed in half. It is absolutely incredible to me that these drivers came away from this with no serious injuries. Huge props to German engineering, both Porsche and BMW, because I cannot believe those cars survived a crash like that. We saw a very similar crash not too many years ago with Roman Grosjean in F1, the pinnacle of four-wheel motorsport, and the car was ripped in half, burst into flames. There were legitimate injuries to Roman Grosjean. I cannot believe with these road-going cars that are not purpose-built tank race cars came out of this with that much damage with all the drivers okay. It's unbelievable, super impressive stuff. So now, how did we get to this point? Obviously, that damage looked incredibly immense. Both cars were completely totaled, not just the one. So let's get into that video real quick and see what actually happened here so we can start breaking it down. So I'll say this now before anything happens. The rules of the Nürburgring are as follows. The track is a public road. It does fall over the typical road rules in Germany. Typical road rules in Germany mean if there's a faster car coming up, slower car has to be over on the right-hand side, faster cars allowed to pass on the left. It's the exact same on the Autobahn. Nürburgring shares the exact same set of rules. So obviously with this situation here, the GT3 RS is flying up on this M2, and then lets off because the M2 obviously hasn't pulled over to the right. He's still in the way. So the GT3 RS lets off, but is expecting a pass. And now let's see what happens. And right there it is. The BMW moves over to the right-hand side, coming up on a left-hand kink, but that inside line is available, so now that GT3 RS gets back into the throttle to keep accelerating forward and make that pass on the BMW. What the Porsche is not aware of, though, is the BMW seems to have just been tracking out to the right to take a nice wider line through that left-hand kink and merges right back over without seeing that 911. This obviously is where the crash ensues, where they come together and have that big wreck, and there's some security camera footage here, so let's see how that looks real quick. Absolutely insane ball of fire. So the M2 comes down, connects with the GT3 RS, and they're now basically stuck together because the GT3 RS is getting pit maneuvered into the wall with the BMW just stuck with its nose right there, and he isn't able to get out of it. They go into that guardrail. The 911 gets ripped clean in half, blew that man's front end smooth off, and then the M2 underneath, acting straight up like the wedge car from Grand Theft Auto 5, just gets straight under that thing, sends it airborne across the track. Huge ball of fire, as you guys could see, and then the cars settle down and come to a stop. Absolutely insane scene. Like I said, one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen happen on the Nürburgring, and even more insane that there were no serious injuries here. So obviously with my lead up to this, I think my stance on it is pretty clear. The BMW is at fault. You're supposed to pull over to the right. if any two cars are alongside at all, the car on the right needs to yield for that car on the left. That car on the left is the passing car. And that GT3 RS was doing exactly that. He was passing on the left, and the M2 just came down on him and took him out. So obviously, the BMW driver is at fault. Now, am I going to flame him and make fun of him like I usually do in these things? No, absolutely not. This is an extremely serious crash, and it is unbelievable that there were survivors. There's a comment right here that I fully agree with, and now I lost it. If this was a couple years ago in an E46 and a 996, it would have been fatal. Crazy how much safer newer cars are. 100% true. Any amount older, the likeliness of serious injury, if not death, is so much higher. It is incredible that these new cars were able to tank this much damage and protect the drivers inside. But that's pretty much it. Pretty short incident here. I just kind of wanted to talk about it and give my thoughts on it. It is the Nürburgring, so the rules are different from that of usual tracks. Mistakes happen. Obviously, this was a huge one, and there is one person who's at fault and one person who isn't. But that doesn't mean that there's someone that everyone needs to bandwagon on verbally assaulting for the incident. That's just not necessary. But that's pretty much it here. I'll quit yapping. I just kind of wanted to talk about this a bit and cover it since it's kind of the big car story going around right now, and it definitely is a really interesting one and a miracle story at that. So I just wanted to cover it, but I'll get out of your guys' hair, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thanks.